Hello everyone, welcome to the lab of heat and mass transfer in the Department of Mechanical Engineering, New Campus, University of Engineering and Technology, Lahore. My name is Mohammad Adil Manir, and today we will learn that how to perform the experiment on plate heat exchanger. It is our lab session 14 in our lab manual. So I will open the lab session number 14 and then I will explain you about the experiment. The experiment we will perform on this apparatus is to calculate the logarithmic mean temperature difference, that is abbreviated as LMTD, and the global heat transfer coefficient of the plate heat exchanger. So we have to calculate these two parameters. One is LMTD and second one is global heat transfer coefficient. So if you go through the theory, you will know about the LMTD and global heat transfer coefficient. So now our objective is balance the energy in the plate heat exchanger. So I will show you the plate heat exchanger. We will use here operators. Plate heat exchanger is serial number is TIPL 0047/11. And on this heat exchanger, we will have a different kind of sensors. Especially, we will provide hot water flow, and for that purpose, we have a tank filled with water. And in that tank, we have used this sensor that is named as ST16, ST16. So this is a water tank temperature sensor. We will provide the hot water flow from this tank. Then second, we have ST1 that will measure the temperature of cold water at inlet or outlet. Similarly, this ST3, this will measure the temperature of cold water temperature at inlet or outlet, because the inlet and outlet of cold water may be changed. If you will use the parallel flow heat exchanger, then the inlet and exit of cold water will be there. But if you will revert it or you will convert it into anti-parallel, then you will have to change the inlet and exit with each other. So that's why, but the inlet and exit of hot water flow, they do not change. So ST2 is represents the hot water inlet, and ST4 represents the hot water exit. So the inlet and exit of hot water flow will remain the same, whether it is parallel flow or anti-parallel flow. But for cold water, it will be changed or it will be reversed. So SC1 will be used to measure the flow. It is basically flow sensor, and it will measure the flow rate of volume flow rate of hot water. And ST2 will measure the volume flow rate of cold water. All other, these are the valves, different types of valve we will use here. We will change, we will close and open these valves to uh, make it a parallel flow or anti-parallel flow. So now this is some useful data. Different parameters are given. We may use some values from here in the calculation. So before moving to the lab or where I will show you how to perform the experiment, we need some we need to understand some observation table, and for some calculations which we will uh, make before the experiment. So this is hot water average temperature. As I already have mentioned that ST2 and ST4, they represent the hot water temperature at inlet and exit. So this is THI. This is basically hot water at inlet. TH node is basically hot water at outlet. And we will divide it by 2 and we will get their average temperature of hot water. Similarly, TCI and TCO. TCI represent the hot water inlet and TCO represent hot water outlet. We will take their average, and it is the cold average water temperature. So now why we are taking the average? Because on these values, we will find the these parameters, that is density and specific heat and dynamic viscosity. These three properties change with the change of temperature. So at the hot water value, we will determine these properties from the table that is given at the end of this lab manual appendix A, or you can find these values on internet sources as well. So cold water temperature, we will use its average value to determine these three parameters. Again, these are densities, specific heat and dynamic viscosities. So now next stage is we want to measure the mass flow rate of hot water and cold water. For mass flow rate, the formula is we will multiply this density with this volume flow rate. This volume flow rate we will measure from the experiment. This is denoted by SC. So we will put these values here, and we will divide them with 60,000 just to convert this mass flow rate into kilogram per second to just to change its unit. So we will measure, we will calculate the mass flow rate of hot water and cold water in kilogram per second from here. This is just schematic diagram. It is also there on the operators, and this is the way you can learn here that how to convert the parallel flow into anti-parallel flow. So this is some description of different valves when you will close the valve 2 and valve 5, and you will open the valve 3 and 4, then it will be anti-parallel flow. And well, you will open the valve 2 and 5, and you will close the valve 3 and 4, then it will be converted to parallel flow. So now before moving towards the lab, I want to show you the observation table. These are all observation we will make here. We will basically provide the temperature to hot water tank, that is ST16. We will provide different values of temperature, maybe 50, 55, 60 and 65. We will take 4 set of reading, and then we will note the values of ST1, ST2, ST3, ST4, SC1, that is the flow rate, and SC2 from that is the flow rate of cold water from the experiment. And these all ST1 to ST4, these represent the temperature of hot and cold water, and SC1 and SC2 are the flow rate of hot and cold water. So we will measure these values, and we will observe. We will use these values to calculate our different parameters later on. So now we will move towards our lab to perform the experiment on this plate heat exchanger. But before moving to lab, I would like to tell you that all of these heat exchangers we are using in the for our experiment, they use high voltage. They are all high voltage equipment, so we need to take care about the safety precautions. So we need to check the all sockets and switches before the start of experiment, and we have to observe their capacity, whether can they take the load of these heavy equipments or not. And secondly, we will use all the personal protection equipment. We will use all the protective care before the start of experiment, so that any type of risk may be avoided. So now let's move towards the lab. So we will perform this experiment on plate heat exchanger. Okay, now we are in the lab, and first of all I will show you the plate heat exchanger. This is plate heat exchanger. You can see the different tubes, and they are all attached to some plates. That's why it is called as plate heat exchanger. And you can also observe that different wires are attached, and different valves are also there. We will open these valves, then we will perform the experiment. And these are all the wires which are the temperature sensors, which measure the temperature at different points of hot water and cold water. And these are the plates. So all of these, this is a simple experiment, and we will attach basically this plate heat exchanger with the main console unit through these tubes. So first of all, we will attach this operators with the tube through the tubes to the main heat exchanger, and then we will take the readings from the our computer and main console. So now I will show you how to perform the experiment. Okay everyone, now we are in the lab, and this is the main console basically we are using here. We have 4 different kind of heat exchangers here, and this main console, it is used with all of these heat exchangers. We connect this main console with all other units with some flexible tubes, and you can see different valves are here. And this is the main tank in which we fill the water, and we just heat this water and we get the hot water from it. And sensor is there in this hot tank as well, which different sensors. One sensor is for temperature measurement, and second sensor is for its level measurement, what is the level of water in this hot tank. And this is the front view. You can see that different valves are here, and different sensors are also placed here. These sensors are of different types. Some measure temperature, some measure flow. So these are all valves, and this is the hot tank in which we have filled the water, and we will heat that water, and we will provide the supply of water This is the computer unit and interface. So now he is just in the phase to attach the main console unit with the heat exchanger. This is the final wire he is just connecting. After this, the water flow will flow from the main console to the heat exchanger, and then we will be able to get the readings of temperatures at different places of heat exchanger for hot water as well as for the cold water. So now he is attaching the hydraulic bench to provide this the flow of cold water. And the flow of hot water and cold water will be provided to the main console. So this is the water, one pipe is for water inlet and second pipe is for water outlet. So this cold water can flow in both the direction. We will use here two techniques. One is for parallel flow and second one is for anti-parallel flow. So now this is the main computer in which we have installed the software, and this software is basically the company is Adibon, which has provided all of these softwares. So different heat exchanger options are there. We will click the relevant, and now you can see that we will start this, and on the upper right corner of computer we will get the values of temperatures. So these are all temperatures which can be plotted on the graph as well. So now he just has started to heat the water from the hot tank. In the tank there is a water. We have provided it heat, and we can increase the value of heat provided to this. Okay. So now he is just adjusting the walls to make the flow parallel. First of all, he will open all the walls on the heat exchanger so that the flow of water from hot and cold side will be towards the heat exchanger, and now he will adjust the walls on main console unit to make it a parallel flow. So all the analogy that is written in manual, that to which wall we have to close or we have to open. So now he has converted this into a parallel flow, and we will measure the values of temperature from this computer unit, which is attached directly to the main console and as well as the heat exchanger. So in this way we will get the values of temperatures. Now we can change the heater value of hot water temperature. We can change the value of hot water temperature. For example, if first reading we have taken at 40 degree, we can take different readings on 50, 60 or 70 degree. Now he is converting it to anti-parallel flow. This is a counter parallel flow. He is just adjusting the walls. He is opening some walls and closing some walls, and now it is converted to anti-parallel flow. So now we again will start it from the software, and now we again will take the readings of temperatures for this anti-parallel flow. So temperatures can be plotted, and we will take the reading at different temperatures of hot water. For example, if we will take the first reading at 40 degree, then we may increase the temperature of hot water to 50 degrees, 60 degrees from this computer or software, and we will get the different values of temperatures against different values of hot water temperature. So this is all about how we will take the readings from this heat exchangers. And now I will explain you that how we will use these readings of parallel flow and anti-parallel flow temperature. These are all the temperature of different sensors on different places, and some of these sensors are on the hot water side and some of these are on the cold water sides. So we will measure the values of temperatures of hot water and cold water at different stages, and then we will use all of these values to calculate our required parameters. So now I will move towards the lab manual and I will explain you how to calculate these values. Okay, we have got the following readings of HT1, HT2, HT3, and HT4 against the different values of HT16. HT16 is basically the temperature of tank where we are heating the hot water and supplying it to the heat exchanger. So now we have to convert these readings into different parameters. First of all, this is QH. This is the heat transferred by hot water, and this is QC, that is the heat received by cold water. So QH is basically MH into CPH THI minus TH naught. MH is basically mass flow rate of hot water, and we have got it from the start of experiment. I already have informed you that how to calculate this. CPH, this is specific heat of specific heat of hot water. So we also have got its value. This is THI minus TH naught. This is hot water inlet and hot water outlet. So we have got these readings of ST1, 2, 3, 4. So from here we will get the value of this THI and TH naught. Similarly, for heat absorbed by cold water, this is QC is equal to MC is mass flow rate of cold water. This is CPC is the specific heat of specific heat of cold water, and this is TCO, that is a cold water outlet temperature. TCI is cold water inlet temperature. So we will use all of these values to calculate this QC, and we will take the difference of this QH minus QC. We will get the QL, that is the heat losses. So next stage we have to calculate the logarithmic average temperature difference between hot and cold water. For that we need delta T1 and delta T2. So for parallel flow we will use these formulas of delta T1 is equal to THI minus TCI in hot water inlet minus cold water inlet, and for delta T2 that is the TH naught hot water outlet minus cold water outlet. Similarly, for anti-parallel flow, we will use delta T1 is equal to THI hot water inlet minus cold water outlet, and delta T2 is a TH naught minus TCI, that is hot water outlet minus cold water inlet. So whatsoever it is parallel flow or anti-parallel flow, we will use the value of delta T1 and delta T2 into this formula, delta T1 delta T2 over log of delta T1 over delta T2. So we will get the value of this TLM, that is logarithmic mean temperature difference, LMTD. Basically this TLM is delta TM. This is same one. So now finally the formula for heat transfer is UA and delta T. So this is U is basically global heat transfer coefficient. We will write this formula in this way: U dot A is equal to Q over delta T. This Q is basically QH. We can also use a QC, mean the heat transfer from hot water to cold water should be same ideally, but there will be some difference. So we can use both the values here. So we are using here QH at this stage. Delta T, basically this TLM, this is same as delta TLM. So we will get the values. This area that is will be used here 0.192 meters square. This is the area, heat transfer area we will use here, that is given in the literature or the lab manual of this operators. And so we will get here U. U is basically global heat transfer coefficient. So we have got LMTD as well as the global heat transfer coefficient, and that was the experiment we had to measure. So now next stage is we have to draw the graph. On x-axis we will take the position of sensor. So total length of this heat exchanger is 0.5 meter. So we will divide this 0.5 meter into three measured values, equidistance values, and the temperature of hot and cold water we have measured from this experiment, we will take it on y-axis. So we will get the graph of these temperatures against the length of this heat exchanger. Finally is the statistical analysis. Actually, we have got the 4 set of readings, and we will get the 4 values of this U, global heat transfer coefficient. So ideally these values should be same, but these will not be same actually. So we will take their average, that is U1 plus U2 plus U3 plus U4 over 4. So this is the statistical analysis. Actually, this x1 is representing U1, x2 is representing U2, x3 representing U3 plus U4 also will be here, divided by n is the number of observations. These are 4 here, so we will get the average value of U. And then we will calculate the standard deviation of U, and its formula is x1 is basically U1 minus U average. Then x2 is basically U2 minus U average, x3 minus U average. Their square we are taking, and we also will use here x4 minus x4 mean U4 minus U average. So we will take their squares, then we will divide it by n minus 1, n is 4, and we will take their square root, we will get the values of this standard deviation. So this is the statistical analysis we will perform here, and we will verify that our apparatus is working well or not, or it is a precise apparatus or not. So this is all about the plate heat exchangers. We had to calculate the 2 parameters. One is about LMTD, and second one was the global heat transfer coefficient, and we have calculated both of them. So that was our lab section number 14. Thank you very much.